Every day, there's a shift in the legal landscape. Sometimes it can be dramatic, and the picture can change completely. It can change the way you do business, where you do business, who you do business with. It can change your perspective, the way you think about things, the way you live. It can change your entire view of the future. That's why we're always looking ahead, always anticipating, always moving, always on, around the clock and around the world, across the United States, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. We work together, and we work as one. A culture of collaboration, not competition, harnessing our resources and sharing information, advancing our practices by responding to the needs of our clients, from startups to Fortune 100 companies. We want you to know what we know, to see what we see, whether you're a client or a colleague, so you know you're on solid ground, whatever your interests, wherever you do business, wherever you are in the world. So the path to your goals is free of obstacles, so you get the results that you want. And the future you picture is the one you see.
Good evening. My name is Andrew Susko, and I'm a proud member of the law firm of White & Williams, a firm with a long and rich history of public service and a special interest and investment in access to justice for all. We salute the Philadelphia Bar Foundation for its decades-long tireless work facilitating access to justice. The Bar Foundation continues to make a meaningful difference to this cause, providing critical financial assistance to those groups delivering frontline legal services and access. The Philadelphia VIP, the Homeless Advocacy Project, the Senior Law Center, and the Support Center for Child Advocates. We thank these dedicated and incredibly effective groups for all their tireless efforts and for recognizing by their nomination our firm of White & Williams. We know our justice system only truly provides justice when it is accessible to everyone. The fabric of our system and the very quality of justice delivered requires accessibility to all. We are extremely proud and humbled at White & Williams to be recognized in this fashion. We thank the legal services community for all that you do. You represent the finest in what being a Philadelphia lawyer is all about.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. My name is Erin Coleman. I'm the morning anchor here at NBC 10 News Today, and I am thrilled to be your host for tonight. As someone who was born in Philadelphia, raised in South Jersey, I love covering the region where I grew up, digging for the truth, telling the stories about the people in our community who are truly making an impact. Tonight, we are going to honor some of those people and hear tributes in support of the Philadelphia Bar Foundation's 2021 award recipients. Through these tributes, we'll learn more about the critical impact of pro bono and public interest work performed right here. There are many, many worthy individuals and groups in our region, and we celebrate them all tonight as we honor Neelam Sanghvi, White & Williams, and William T. Coleman Jr. As part of our tribute to William T. Coleman Jr., the Foundation's third ever trailblazer for justice, we will hear remarks from Attorney General Merrick Garland, a personal friend of the late Mr. Coleman. Now, before we begin our celebration, I do want to take a moment to talk about the need for all of us to support civil legal services in Philadelphia. Nearly 1 in 4 Philadelphians, including more than 100,000 children, live in poverty and do not have the financial means to hire a lawyer for legal emergencies. Civil legal aid nonprofits, including the nearly 40 organizations funded by the Bar Foundation, provide critical services that protect individuals and families from losing their homes, losing their access to education or health care, and more. The generosity of the Philadelphia legal community sustains the Foundation's grant-making to these agencies and is more critical than ever. Thank you for your past donations. Thank you to the Barr Foundation's Unified Giving Partners for their ongoing support. And a special thank you to equality sponsor J&D Legal Administration, diversity sponsor the Huntington National Bank, diversity sponsor Kroll Settlement Administration, as well as all of our other event sponsors. Now, let's get this event started with Meredith Auten, the acting president of the Philadelphia Barr Foundation's Board of Trustees.
Good evening and welcome to the Philadelphia Barr Foundation's Access to Justice Awards benefit. I am Meredith Auten, the acting president of the Philadelphia Barr Foundation and a partner at Morgan Lewis. On behalf of the entire board and staff, we thank you so much for joining us tonight for this awards benefit. I want to start with a big thank you to all of our law firm Unified Giving partners for their incredible support throughout this year and through so many years. I also want to thank all of the many contributors to the Barr Foundation this year. It is your incredible generosity that makes the work that we do at the foundation possible. And without you, we couldn't do the work that we have done. So thank you very much for your incredible support. I also want to thank our Board of Trustees and our staff for all of their incredible hard work over the last year, and particularly to the co-chairs of tonight's Access to Justice benefit, Chris Durham of Duane Morris and Wes Payne of White & Williams. Thank you so much for all you've done to make tonight a success. There has been no greater need for civil legal aid services than this year. And our non-for-profit partners have worked tirelessly to meet the needs of so many individuals and families in the Philadelphia region and community. They have worked tirelessly to protect those individuals and families from losing access to education, healthcare, housing, immigration status, and so much more. We are so proud to partner with them and to provide them with unrestricted funding so that they can best use those funds to meet the direct needs of their clients who need free and low-cost legal services. We are extraordinarily honored to support our nonprofit partners, and we are extraordinarily proud of the incredible work they've done for so many years, but even more so in the last year with so many unbelievable challenges, and they have risen to the occasion. I hope you will join with me tonight in further supporting these incredible nonprofit partners and the amazing work they are doing. Now on to the main event. I'm very proud and honored to announce the 2021 Pro Bono Award recipient, the law firm of White & Williams. White & Williams has been a leader in providing pro bono services in the Philadelphia community for decades. They have worked tirelessly to give of their time, energy, and incredible talent to support so many of our nonprofit partners and so many civil legal aid providers in this community. We are very proud to honor White & Williams for their incredible contributions to equal access to justice with this prestigious award, recognizing all that they have done to make a difference in the lives of so many in this community. Congratulations to White & Williams.
Their commitment, not just to legal services organizations like the Senior Law Center and their clients, but all of the other work that they do. And then their commitment to others like us, like Chubb, as a partner. It all goes toward being able to serve more clients. So their impact across Philadelphia has been tremendous.
The drive to do pro bono comes from the top of the firm and goes all the way down so that everybody is involved and everybody is encouraged to make an impact.
They go above and beyond of what we ask them to do. And they're really a model for other private practitioners. They show that you can really provide meaningful pro bono service, even if it's completely different than what you're doing in your everyday work.
Even when COVID hit and the shelters were shut down for physical, being there physically, White and Williams continued to work with the Bethesda Project to do a virtual clinic. White and Williams was so agreeable to pivot and to work with us as we met the needs of our client. That's what is key about the partnership. It's not about what we want. It's not about what the firms want. It's about what our clients need, and White and Williams never hesitated to meet those needs.
The firm and its employees and partners have contributed thousands of dollars in individual and firm contributions of philanthropy, and countless hours serving in volunteer capacities in our fundraisers and in our wonderful toy drive. In all, we feel like White and Williams is a partner with the Support Center for Child Advocates and with the entire Philadelphia legal community, doing good work for kids and families and for those in need.
In addition to the services that White and Williams provides our clients, both Wesley Payne and Ken Gibbs are on our board. And, as the executive director, a strong and supportive board is invaluable. Both of them have been great counsel to me and to this organization.
They really have had tremendous leadership over the years that really has instituted a culture of pro bonoism within the firm.
Our pro bono program at Chubb is really important to the organization and to our legal department. Frankly, our pro bono program probably wouldn't be where it is without White and Williams.
Congratulations, White and Williams, on the 2021 Philadelphia Bar Foundation Pro Bono Award.
Congratulations, White and Williams, on your 2021 Pro Bono Award.
Thank you so much, both for me personally, but for the staff of HAP. Thank you again.
I'm so honored to work with you, and congratulations again on winning the 2021 Pro Bono Award.
Congratulations, White and Williams, on winning the 2021 Pro Bono Award. For all of your service to all of our clients, we are deeply grateful and thank you.
Wow, really remarkable work. Now please welcome some of the members of White and Williams Pro Bono program to accept their award.
Thank you to the Philadelphia Bar Foundation and our nominating pro bono partners, the Homeless Advocacy Project, the Senior Law Center, the Support Center for Child Advocates, and Philadelphia VIP. Our firm has enjoyed a long and meaningful relationship with each of these organizations, dating back to when our late partner, Joe Foster, was the Chancellor of the Philadelphia Bar Association. This award belongs to the many attorneys and staff at the firm who year in and year out have stepped up to provide pro bono service not only in Philadelphia, but across our many offices.
I started as a volunteer in 1985 for the Support Center and served as a board member for some years. I've had a case going almost continuously over the last 35 years. The mission of the Support Center is crucially important, and the firm is very proud to have made a contribution to its efforts. There's more work to be done, and the Support Center can count on White and Williams to stand with it in the fight to improve the lives of abused and neglected children in the city of Philadelphia.
To the Homeless Advocacy Project and Dean Baer. On behalf of White and Williams, I would just like to say thank you for recognizing us and our 2-decade history together. Your staff is outstanding, especially Pat Malley, who sets up all the homeless advocacy clinics with us, Shelley and Alex, who do a lot of the back end work, and Margie Ann, who makes sure that everything just works out wonderfully. Over those last 2 decades, we've done a number of just great clinics, and you guys have been great. So we'd like to thank you and thank the Bar Foundation for thinking of us for this award.
So on behalf of the numerous attorneys and paralegals in every department of the firm, as well as our Philadelphia VIP liaison, Lindsay Schoonmaker, and her predecessors, who contributed their time and talent to helping Philadelphia residents resolve very challenging real estate title and estate administration issues, I want to thank the Bar Foundation for this recognition and honor.
Thank you to the Philadelphia Bar Foundation for this award.
Now, as we all know, an event like this one doesn't just happen. It takes months and months of planning and organization. Chris Durham and Wesley Payne are the two outstanding Bar Foundation board members who chaired the Access to Justice Awards Benefit Committee for 2021, and they did a phenomenal job. Please help me welcome Chris and Wes. Thank you for making tonight a special evening for everyone.
Good evening. I'm Wes Payne, and along with my co-chair, Chris Durham, we would like to thank all of you as our guests for tonight's event. We are grateful that you have chosen, and we realize that it is a choice, to be with us here tonight. Although we would prefer to have been in person, we are glad to have meet with you virtually. And we would like to give you a thank you for all that you have done. We would like to give an extra special welcome and thank you to the Bar Foundation's unified giving partners, sponsors, and individual donors. Without you, the Bar Foundation could not engage in its mission to help and financially support so many great legal services, agencies, and organizations that provide needed help to Philadelphia and its most vulnerable citizens. Again, 2021 was a challenging year, and you all met the challenge. Thank you for making a difference and helping the Bar Foundation make a difference in the lives of the citizens of Philadelphia. Now, Chris, back to you.
Thanks, Wes. As members of the Board of Trustees of the Philadelphia Bar Foundation, we also ask for your support tonight to sustain the Foundation's 2021 grant making. Now, perhaps more than ever, Philadelphia needs the vital legal services provided by our city's public interest legal community. And your support will help the Foundation fulfill its mission to provide much-needed funds to the organizations that are on the front lines advocating for our fellow Philadelphians in need. Tonight, we're privileged to honor one of the public interest community's brightest lights, Neelam Sanghvi. Neelam is the legal director of the Pennsylvania Innocence Project, which works to exonerate individuals convicted of crimes they didn't commit and prevent innocent people from being convicted. That alone is a job that would keep almost any lawyer, even one as talented as Neelam, fully occupied. But Neelam's pursuit of justice is tireless. In addition to managing a heavy litigation caseload with the Innocence Project, Neelam presents training sessions on wrongful conviction and exoneration that she has developed for law firms and in-house legal departments, teaches seminars for the Innocence Project's exemplary law school externship program, and serves as an adjunct professor of law both at Penn State Dickinson Law, where she teaches a wrongful conviction clinic, and at the University of Pennsylvania Carey Law School, teaching appellate advocacy. Previously, Neelam served as a Bar Foundation trustee from 2011 to 2018 and co-founded our award-winning Board Observer program, which allows young lawyers to sit as annual observers on nonprofit boards. Neelam, on behalf of the board of the Bar Foundation, thank you for your lifelong dedication to pursuing justice for those on whom most of the world has given up and thus dearly need your dedication, passion, persistence, and talented lawyering. Your commitment to criminal justice reform and your dedication to representing the wrongfully convicted and to educating and training the next generation of lawyers to carry the torch that you so ably hold today is an inspiration to all of us working to make equal justice a reality in our community.
Neelam is a fearless, zealous advocate. She's really driven to achieve results for our clients.
She is a skilled lawyer and teacher, knowledgeable in the law, an astute strategist and tactician, and diligent to the nth degree.
There are a lot of different skills that lawyers need. Most lawyers, if they're lucky, are good at one or two of those things, and Neelam is really exceptional in that she's great across the board at so many different things as a lawyer and as a person.
She's all about justice, and it really reveals itself in the respect that she has for other people.
I know plenty of the individuals that Neelam has worked with to free, and I know that their lives and their family lives are exponentially better because she's actually entered the scene and done what she's done to help them.
Observing almost anyone doing almost anything well is a great good. Observing someone perform at the top of her craft is special. Neelam, you are special.
Neelam is exceptional in every way. I mean, she has a sharp, keen legal intellect.
Neelam's impact on the legal aid community here in Philadelphia is vast. She is a person who is unassuming, and she is certainly not a person who you will ever hear taking credit for the work she does or the success that she achieves. But she is also a person who touches the lives of so many others.
She is steady, unflappable, and quietly persuasive. She is esteemed, liked, and trusted.
She brings a compassion and a humanity to her work that drives not only the case, but drives the case team. She is remarkable at dealing with human beings, at feeling their pain, and at using the gifts she has as a lawyer to help bring them relief.
Congratulations, Neelam, on the 2021 Bar Foundation Award.
My thanks to the Bar Foundation for recognizing her merit.
Congratulations.
Neelam, congratulations on receiving the Philadelphia Bar Foundation Award. There's nobody on earth that deserves it more than you.
I feel so lucky to have gotten to know you and work with you. I know my life is better as a result.
Congratulations, Neelam, on receiving this well-deserved honor.
There absolutely is no one more deserving of this honor than you.
Amazing. It is clear that Neelam is truly dedicated to advancing equal access to justice. So congratulations, Neelam, on receiving this honor.
I've been with the Pennsylvania Innocence Project for over 8 years, since 2013, and as the legal director, I manage our casework all over the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, trying to get people released from prison who are there for crimes that they just simply did not commit. So we really seek to exonerate people who are actually innocent and then provide them with much needed reentry to support when and if they are hopefully finally able to come home. I really want to thank everyone who nominated me for this award and who supported my nomination. Public services and public interest lawyering can be daunting every single day. A client of ours sits in jail that shouldn't be there. We're really lucky in this work to have support from so many pro bono partners in the Philadelphia area, the Schneider firm, Troutman Pepper, Deckert, Morgan Lewis. I mean, the list goes on. I certainly have to thank my husband for making sure that we keep the trains running on the home front as well. I want to thank the Foundation for this beautiful and meaningful award. As the former chair of the Foundation's Awards Committee, I know how excellent the lawyers are who have received it in the past, and I'm so honored to be in their company.
The Philadelphia Bar Foundation's Trailblazer for Justice Award is a posthumous award that honors the brilliance, the personal courage, and the use of exceptional talents by an individual to advance the cause of civil rights and equal access to justice. The foundation established this award to increase awareness of individuals who led the way in Philadelphia in the fight for equal access to justice for all, and to acknowledge that we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us and whose lives and contributions from different backgrounds and circumstances have shaped who we are. Jessica Hilburn-Holmes, Executive Director of the Philadelphia Bar Foundation, will introduce the 2021 Trailblazer for Justice, the late William T. Coleman, Jr.
I want to thank you for joining us this evening to celebrate Philadelphia's public interest legal community and their pro bono partners for the critical work they do, uplifting the dreams and enforcing the rights of all Philadelphians. We are also here to thank our financial contributors, our Unified Giving law firm partners, and our event sponsors. In particular, I'd like to shout out to our new sponsor, AB Data. Thank you for joining us. While it almost sounds trite to say, I think it is important to acknowledge what challenging times we live in. We confront an existential crisis globally as a result of climate change, and nationally as a result of anti-democratic forces that are driving division and threatening our democratic republic. like the man whom we are honoring this evening as a trailblazer for justice, the late William T. Coleman Jr. The Bar Foundation is committed to fostering collaboration and coalition within the legal community and beyond in order to forge a stronger, more inclusive, and fairer community for all Philadelphians. In doing this work, we recognize that we must look to our history to understand the roots of the challenges we confront today. We also believe it is incumbent upon us to acknowledge our debt to those who came before and to be inspired by their example. That, in fact, is the very purpose for this evening's Trailblazer for Justice Award. As you are about to learn, William T. Coleman Jr. was an extraordinary individual, an exemplary Philadelphia lawyer. He believed that it is incumbent on each generation to challenge the establishment and be a creative force for change from within. And he recognized that in order to be successful at that work, lawyers needed to address legal issues in their broader historical, cultural, and social contexts. In short, his career demonstrates how to use what is best about America, the law's commitment to equal justice, to eradicate what is worst about America, its baked-in and ultimately self-defeating racism. Bill Coleman was born in Philadelphia in 1920 and learned at a young age that human dignity was more important than avoiding controversy. He took that lesson to heart when, after graduating summa cum laude from the University of Pennsylvania and first in his class at Harvard Law School, he joined a team of lawyers that successfully challenged the very roots of the Philadelphia establishment by filing lawsuits to revoke the exclusionary language in the Stephen Girard Will and Trust, and finally integrated Girard College. In all, Bill Coleman argued 19 cases before the Supreme Court, half of which were civil rights cases brought on behalf of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, including, of course, Brown versus the Board of Education. He served as one of 6 senior counsel to the Warren Commission and was given the task of interviewing Fidel Castro. In 1995, he was awarded the Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor an American can receive. He is laid to rest in Arlington between Justices Thurgood Marshall and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. As you will hear, his career spanned public service and private practice. And as he recounts in his autobiography, which I encourage you to read, he was able to build coalitions and cultivate allies, often converting his previous detractors. Presidents from Lyndon Johnson to Bill Clinton sought his counsel and solicited his talent. There is so much we can learn from his extraordinary life. It is a great honor to introduce the 2021 Trailblazer for Justice Award in honor of William T. Coleman Jr.
In Brown v. Board of Education, he was co-counsel with Thurgood Marshall. And Bill was sort of the leading proponent of the brief.
He even sat next to Thurgood Marshall for the oral arguments in some of the cases and actually sat next to him in the Supreme Court when Thurgood argued the cases.
In the 60s and then into the 70s, the whole country, not just the South, of course, the whole country was coming through a process that was set into motion by Bill and his colleagues a decade before.
He was always committed to civil rights, working both in the Supreme Court as an advocate on civil rights cases, as chairman of the Legal Defense Fund.
You know, Bill arrived at Dilworth in 1952, and that was a very difficult time with respect to race relations in this country. And Bill was a Philadelphian by birth.
So he was always very dedicated to Philadelphia. He always, even though he moved to McLean, Virginia, and worked in D.C. for his last 30 or 40 years, he always maintained his Philadelphia membership of the Philadelphia Bar and his connection to the Philadelphia community, of which he was so proud.
He was a person who was really about the respect for law
and about using the law to promote civil rights. But at the same time, he was about allyship, about finding multi-partisan approaches to problems.
It's quite natural to look at Bill's amazing career and seize on some of the really well-known accomplishments. Probably the Brown case is the one that most people would talk about, but he was so much more than that. I mean, any one of many milestones would be something that a person could be proud of.
He found himself as a leading figure in some of the most tumultuous and transformational events which shaped this country.
All of his civil rights work was pro bono. His view was very much that, why are we doing this? We're doing this so that African Americans, blacks, and neither of those terms he particularly liked, incidentally, but so they could become part of our dynamic economy and social structure.
One thing I learned from Mr. Coleman is that unless you're fighting for the civil rights of all people, you're not fighting for the civil rights of yourself and the particular group that you come from.
Every single letter that he wrote concluded not with sincerely or yours truly or anything like that. The closing on his letters were in quotation marks, and it was "take care, ... close quote. And what that came from, because one time, you hear people say, take care when they're leaving. But it's a quotation from, it's an excerpt from the Constitution, from Article 2, I think it's Section 5, or Section 3. Article 2, Section 3, the take care clause, the executive shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed. And that manifestation of his love of the Constitution in every single letter that he wrote emphasized to the recipients who paid attention what a driver the love of the Constitution was for what he did as a lawyer.
His most important life accomplishment occurred when he was 37 years old. And it was the litigation program that my father and Thurgood Marshall and the talented lawyers at the NAACP Legal Defense Fund put together to bring about a decision, an iconic decision, which basically changed the very foundation and premises of the society in which we live. The impact of Brown has been tremendous, because if we look back to 1950 and the way that society was before then, it created a whole new change in consciousness. And we also have to very much thank Earl Warren, who timed the rendering of the decision in a way where he knew he could get a unanimous court. Because he knew if he failed to get a unanimous court, the decision might not be fully accepted and could cause all sorts of institutional problems along the way. When you really think about it, we can look at our society and say the demarcation line was before Brown versus Board of Education and after Brown versus Board of Education. And 1954 may seem a long time ago to many of you sitting here, but I remember it clearly. I remember what things were like at that time. I remember going down to Louisiana to visit my mother's parents and asking, why do we always have to, when we went to see Pinocchio, why do we always have to sit upstairs? Why can't we? And my mother was embarrassed to tell me. Well, that's a type of stigma and uncertainty that Black people lived with until Brown versus Board got the ball rolling. And it was done through a small group of courageous people. I think my father's career, and I just talked about the Brown case because there's only so much time available, exemplifies the degree to which compromise, openness, the ability to see the other person, makes a difference. Now, what's hard, you had a lot of hardcore racists during my father's time, but now the conversation has to take place with people who believe in rather incredible conspiracy theories and are willing to believe what everybody understands are open and blatant lies submitted for the purpose of manipulation. I think my father's greatest hope and his greatest reward would be that if we could go back, that it would be, he recognized that America is basically a center-right, center-left, but our true values, and what the majority of people think lies in the middle, and it's being exploited by the extremes on both sides. My father's, I think, greatest hope or wish is that we could begin a dialogue that expands the middle, that allows us to discuss what the real issues are and how we can preserve in a responsible way social change that lies ahead. Our family is so grateful to be acknowledged in this way and to give us an opportunity to express values that my father represented, and that I think, if adopted on a wider scale, could be a real solution to what the country has to overcome in terms of the problems it faces now. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dad, for everything you've been to me and the love that you, the undying love you and Mother gave to your children, which has made our lives incredible. Thank you.
Truly inspiring. Talk about triumph over adversity. What an incredible legacy, an important piece of Philadelphia history right there. We are all indebted to individuals like William T. Coleman Jr., who dedicate their lives to fighting for a better world. It's now my honor to introduce the Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland, who will discuss the importance of the late Mr. Coleman's legacy, particularly during this time in our nation's history, as we face both unprecedented and familiar challenges.
Good evening. Thank you to the Philadelphia Bar Foundation for asking me to join you in honoring my friend, Bill Coleman. Bill was proud to be from Philadelphia. I know he would be especially proud to receive this recognition from you. When I first came to the Justice Department as a special assistant to then Attorney General Ben Civiletti, I worked alongside another special assistant, Levita Coleman Jr., Bill and Levita Sr.'s daughter. Levita and I became friends, and I began to spend many Sunday afternoons with the Coleman family. With my own parents living in Chicago, it's fair to say that Bill and Levita Sr., along with Levita Jr., Billy, and Hardy, became my Washington family. In fact, we were so close that when my wife Lynn and I started dating, I brought her to meet the Colemans, saying only half jokingly that I wanted to be sure that they approved. It was only then that we discovered, in a bit of cosmic karma, that Lynn's grandmother and Bill were also close friends. They had served together for many years on the board of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. And so our families grew even closer. When our older daughter was born, Lynn and I asked Levita Jr. to be her godmother. I am grateful to have had Bill as a mentor and to have had his extraordinary career as an example. Bill served as a law clerk to Supreme Court Justice Felix Frankfurter, clerking alongside future Attorney General Elliot Richardson. And as an aside, to complete the circle, just as Levita Jr. was our daughter's godmother, Elliot Richardson was Levita Jr.'s godfather. And so there is an extra reason why Elliot's portrait is one of the 4 Attorney General portraits hanging in my conference room. As all of you know, as a young lawyer, Bill worked alongside Thurgood Marshall to draft the brief and develop the legal strategy in Brown versus Board of Education. Bill served for decades on the NAACP Legal Defense Fund's Board of Directors, and over his career argued 19 cases before the Supreme Court. He was appointed by President Ford to serve as Secretary of Transportation, a position he was particularly proud of. In 1995, President Clinton recognized Bill with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Bill always spoke candidly about the racial discrimination he faced during his life. He told me many times that while clerking at the Supreme Court, many restaurants in Washington refused to serve him. Elliot Richardson stuck by him. The 2 of them ate only where both could be served. He also told me, as he told many others, that after finishing his clerkship, many law firms declined to hire him. This despite clerking on the Supreme Court, graduating first in his Harvard Law School class, and serving on the Harvard Law Review. These were only small slices of the discrimination that Bill knew personally. He dedicated his life and career to fulfilling America's promise of equal justice under law. The Trailblazer for Justice Award is a fitting tribute to his life and work. Today, the task for all of us is to keep Bill's legacy alive through our work. The Department of Justice is no exception. The department was created in the aftermath of the Civil War, with one of its founding purposes being to protect American civil rights. That work remains central to our mission. Over the past 8 months, we have sharpened the tools at our disposal to protect the civil rights of all Americans. We have doubled the size of the Civil Rights Division's voting section to do all we can to protect the right of every eligible citizen to vote. We have launched pattern or practice investigations to ensure constitutional policing. We have opened investigations of the conditions of confinement of state and local prisoners. We have stepped up efforts to deter, prevent, and prosecute hate crimes. We have undertaken a new initiative to combat redlining and to ensure that federal fair lending laws are vigorously enforced. And last week, because there can be no equal justice without equal access to justice, we restored a standalone Office for Access to Justice within the department. This office will address the most urgent legal needs of communities across America. It will help support access to the courts and expand civil legal representation for those without it. And it will help facilitate partnerships with individuals and organizations like those celebrated by the Philadelphia Bar Foundation tonight. Bill would have been very proud to be honored by a foundation dedicated to promoting access to justice for all people in the community, particularly those struggling with poverty, abuse, and discrimination. Thank you for honoring my friend, and thank you for inviting me to join you in honoring him.
That is incredible to hear from Attorney General Merrick Garland about his personal relationship with William T. Coleman Jr. and Mr. Coleman's enduring legacy. Wow. And what better way to wrap up our program for tonight? Congratulations again to all of our honorees, and thanks to all of you for joining us. Once again, the Bar Foundation's grant making is sustained by your generosity. We are grateful for your continued support of advancing equal access to justice in Philadelphia. My name is Erin Coleman. I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning right here on NBC 10 News today from 4 to 7 a.m. Have a wonderful night, and thank you for joining us.